Please come rest with me. Just for a second. Forget about the responsibilities and worries and duties that you carry on your shoulders every day. Come rest with me. See, rest is not just like, sleeping, taking a break and things. Rest is also like, giving time to yourself to be more healthy. Each of us have different ways of resting. Like for me, resting can be 1 hour of just walking around the streets and painting, or like taking pictures.
I like to stretch and meditate and use my imagination and go wherever I want to go.
I think that I don't really make time to rest, but it's not even a fact of finding it hard to rest. It's just, I feel like I often choose not to. To rest, you kind of need to have all of your awareness and none of your awareness in the present moment. You kind of just have to be, and that requires you to sit still, which isn't necessarily something I'm good at.
I know that I need rest, I need that space, but the fact that I take it to a threshold, and that is when I realize, fuck, I need that space. This has been a cycle for me. This is something which keeps on repeating. So I cannot tell, oh, I need to take a day off. I need to rest. I need to have a space for myself. I need to paint and things like that. I just need to walk. I cannot. For me, doing that is associated with a lot of guilt. Guilt of oh my God, I'm missing a lot. A lot of people do not have that access the way I have an access to. So I feel very guilty whenever I take that break out and take rest.
I think my relationship to rest is one where there's a bit of wrestling to it. There's a bit of, it's something that takes over me every now and then. I have to actively remind myself that it's important. It's not something that I've quite got into a routine of yet. I think that it's also something that as a society we're not really taught to get into a routine of very well. I think that rest is something that I aspire to get better at. It's something that I think is necessary, but knowing that isn't the same as doing it.
When I was younger, I was really money focused, and mainly because I wanted money to go to school. But it was funny because my last year, when I was supposed to be applying for schools, I was so busy working that I didn't have time to apply to school. So it's kind of a snake that's eating itself really with that.
The idea of rest comes with a baggage. It comes with a baggage of finances, comes with a baggage of luxury, leisure, and a class conscious. For instance, a person who is like, working 12 hours a day to feed a family, they are fucking tired at the end of the day to like, think about rest and things like that. Let's be very honest about that. You need to re-engage yourself, look at life differently and things like that. And also understand where people are coming from. And when somebody says they're not rested, as societies, we have been told not to spend time with ourselves. It's also because the way we as a society have been constructed, like as beings, like we are functional or non-functional. So, for instance, we call people who love to sleep lazy instead of like they just love to sleep. They want to have that 12 hours of sleep or 10 hours of sleep. Is called laziness. It's not like you're celebrating and it's normalized. So there's always that kind of like association of functionality of people and what they do.
I think with resting, it allows you to process, just giving yourself time to reflect and think of what's happened during your life, and that allows you to open up emotionally and work through stuff that you wouldn't usually if you were constantly working. And I see a lot of people constantly working, chasing something, but also running away from their past. There's a bit of a hiding aspect, I think, that comes with overworking yourself.
I don't want to continue to perpetuate this idea that rest is for the weak. I don't want that to be something that is, because that's a harmful narrative for the world, and it's a short-sighted narrative. The idea of you need to get everything now, that's the same mentality that's destroying the planet, because we need all these resources, use them up, don't think about it.
If you want to bring in a social change, you need to be healthy. And to be healthy, you need to take that break out, to say it's okay to take that break out. What will you do if you are unhealthy, and how will you bring in that change?
I think the rest is important in creating a better world, because a better world to me is a more balanced world. A world where things are equally distributed, not just amongst people, or rather not necessarily equally but equitably. Like the systems of inequality are dismantled, and one of those systems is the hierarchy of productivity in a capitalist sense over maintenance of one's own body and self-care.
I think an important thing for me is when I realized that I could just be and allow myself to not accomplish anything, maybe even in my entire life. just be able to experience what I experience.
Rest is also an antithesis of capitalism. So a world which is not capitalistic, world where people are more happy, world where people are more connected with world and people around them, connected with nature, connected with themselves, connected with the well-being of people. So that's the kind of society that I'm looking for.
And so rest is important because rest is a really important choice that you make to focus your activity on sustaining yourself and to making sure that you have room for yourself. When you rest, you choose to take up space. You choose to fill your time with your own self. And I think that in order to make a better world, we need to all be more comfortable taking up the space. We need to take care of ourselves. And I think we need to make sure that all the processes of maintenance for the world are given the space they need to sustain the future.